Russia. It is SKillous. Fun fact, Grant, this is actually the second Krystianer game I've cast today. I had him earlier
this morning in OSC?
Yeah, had him earlier today in the OSC King of the Hill. So it was
How did he do?
Yeah, not great.
Oh.
Not great. He was up against I forget who he's up against. He played all right, but lost his game I think right away. So I'm hoping he gets to show a little bit better series today, and I'm almost positive he will. Almost positive he will.
Yeah, let's hope so. SKillous, of course, in the form of his life so far, been making waves not only as a player in this tournament, but also as a gifable figure. Both players, though, are going for 2 gate expand by the looks of things. Although that second gateway a little bit slow here for SKillous. There we go. Really momentary. Gas was a tiny bit earlier. The game, as expected here on Death Aura. Krystianer going for a scout. We need to keep a track on these first probes. Quite often they can dictate the pace of the game and what is coming out of both these players. Because no one likes to put a pylon at home. That second pylon is pesky, you've got to keep it far away. And SKillous is moving very much into a Stargate. A Stargate-centric position, I would say.
Yeah, it looks that way, I think. Interesting placement here for the Stargate. Obviously, usually you want to get a little bit closer. I've seen really aggressive proxy Stargates here. Or if you want to get crazy, I've seen one here one time. That was so much fun. Nobody saw it coming. But you're right. Proxy location, the probe's still sticking around. It's unlikely this is for a robo. Usually if you're going proxy robo, it's a little further toward the middle of the map. So it'd be an unorthodox location. And there it is. Stargate comes down from SKillous. Great game knowledge. Great call there, Grant. How is Krystianer shaping up behind this?
Yeah, the Stalker Sentry. That Sentry will be very important to get the hallucinations out. No tech just yet here from Krystianer. Certainly leads us to believe he's probably going to throw a Twilight Council down. Maybe after his Nexus, some will go for it before. Stalker, nice. If he'd gone Adept immediately, I would have been a little concerned because these early Oracles can be a big threat. Probe coming down, nice block here. This is nice here from SKillous, just slowing his opponent down a little bit, but actually, to be honest, Krystianer didn't have the money anyway to throw that Nexus down at that moment, and with a Sentry and a Stalker, he has the DPS to take it down. Nexus will follow. This ends up actually working out. He's got 400 minerals right now. There we go.
Perfect timing.
Problem, but the Oracle already on the wing, no battery in the mineral line. The Stalker is out on the map. And Krystianer did get in far enough here to see that there was a pylon missing. So he knows something's up and is trying to look for it. He's got a hallucinated Phoenix already out on the map now, trying to see what it can find. But the Stargate unscouted so far.
Yeah, unscouted so far, but it's all going to come down to the placement of these Stalkers. Is Krystianer going to see this Oracle, and will the Stalkers move in place in time? And the answer is yes, and probably yes. A forward pylon here from Krystianer. Obviously, anytime you're uncertain where the attack's coming from, a little pylon in your base is perfect, and the Stalker's already here. The Oracle forced to just get a Revelation down. Not the spell it wanted to cast there, Grant. Obviously, wanted to pick down a couple probes if it could. Nice responses from Krystianer here, and that's going to put him in a pretty decent spot with his Nexus down, just slightly ahead of his opponent. Already a Twilight Council down for SKillous as well back home. Grant, how can SKillous afford a Stargate and a Twilight Council when Krystianer has no tier 2 tech yet?
Yeah, SKillous has no units, that's why. So far only making 2 Stalkers and 1 Sentry as opposed to the 6 of his opponent. So Krystianer right now, if they were to fight, would be very, very, very ahead, but he is playing quite passive. Maybe some would say too passive, but he's not going to take any damage, and his Forge is at a similar time as well. Eventually this Oracle could end up going down. No, it will survive for now, hitting some good Revelations here, no damage. No stasis wards or anything. This is nice. Krystianer will feel content because they're going into the same spot, but Krystianer's just going to have a few more boys on the field. This Oracle, oh my gosh, is really messing with it so far. Blink on the way here for Krystianer, as well as SKillous. SKillous will be quicker, but of course, I mean, even with Blink, you don't want to fight if your opponent's got twice as many units.
Yep, definitely one of those interesting mirror matchup situations where if you're both going for the same build, you just can't engage unless you've got a significant advantage over them. And as you said, SKillous investing in a little bit more Krystianer investing in a little more army supply. SKillous going for a bit faster tech there with that Stargate. So that's going to put Krystianer slightly on the front foot in this game because he didn't have to go for that Stargate, which in reality Grant has done just nothing. I mean, a couple Revelations from the Oracle doesn't really count. So that's going to put Krystianer slightly ahead, and we can see that reflected just barely in these counts down here. The ribbons in the bottom of the screen. The yellow ribbon showing that Krystianer slightly ahead on workers. The orange part of the ribbon showing him slightly ahead on army supply. And so far, everything looking good for Krystianer, who, again, as we said before, really needs this win, Grant. So it's a good start for our player who's slightly behind in the standings.
Yeah, no, it's not behind enough that I'm like, oh no,
Right.
what are you going to do? You're in so much trouble. Both players go for their third, and PvP, the later it goes, the more comeback potential there is. Stasis ward going down at the moment. Is that a defensive stasis ward? By the looks of it, it is.
I'm actually not sure.
It could be. It counts as a unit, I believe, in the unit stuff, no? Where's the Oracle? Yeah, defensive. There we go. So SKillous right now setting up. He wants to make sure his third is okay. It is, of course, going to be scouted. And both players just chugging away with their upgrades, really. They don't want to meet until Stalkers. Both have Blink, +1 at least this done. Probably Immortals or Archons or Charge Zealots, depending on the choices they take on the field.
Yep.
And we do have a battery on the... a Prism on the way here for Krystianer, who may be the first one to get on the aggressive, knowing that he does have just a few more units, a little bit more supply. 9 more army supply. I mean, it can work. If there's no battery, that's certainly enough to snowball a fight. And here he goes. Looks like he's on the move.
Yeah, take a look at the structures tab here. You'll see there are a couple earlier gateways out for Krystianer. The total gateway count is 6 to 5 now. So not only does he want a gateway up, he started with more units. He's got more gateways out. The upgrade's going to be even. The tech going to be even as well with +1 and Blink on both sides here. Even though SKillous has started +2, Krystianer does have a very nice opportunity here to get in. It's all going to come down to Blink Stalker Micro Grant, and SKillous does not have any. Okay, he has 3 shield batteries here. None of them are up front though, which means the shield batteries can heal the Nexus. But if those Stalkers are drawn a little bit further forward, it could be a dangerous position for SKillous here. I still think he's going to be able to defend fairly easily, but it could go poorly for him if he's not very cautious.
Yeah, this is a lot of Stalkers. We're looking right now at 24 to 12, and nice. I can do that math. Some nice force fields here. We'll trap a couple of units. The Immortal is offering a lot of DPS, but it is going to get force fielded out. That's very, very big right now. That's an important unit going down. This Nexus as well is under big fire. I think, Creighton, that we are going to see the Nexus fall here. Blink is done for both. SKillous in a lot of trouble. Krystianer could probably go for an aggressive Blink, and there he goes! Jumping on the units here of SKillous. Super Battery cannot go down. There's no Nexus. And looking at the numbers right now, 22 to 11, 20 to 10. And it looks like Krystianer may be able to take this with just way more Stalkers. Oh my god, the Stasis Ward might have just saved this game.
It's not going to be enough, though, Grant. I don't think 10 probes going down in the aftermath, and the Stalker count down to 1 Stalker against 16. And again, Grant, I'm not a maths major. I'm not a smart man, but I can tell you 16 greater than 1. GG, and Blazer Esports Krystianer takes game number 1. Grant, you called it yourself before this series started. You said this is going to be an aggressive game. These are two players who like to get out of their bases, like to get damage done early. And what did we see? SKillous with a proxy Stargate trying to get that early damage done. Krystianer with a really strong +1 Blink Stalker timing. Both of these guys champing at the bit to get damage done before the opponent. Not a lot of turtling happening here.
No, definitely not. These players aren't the turtle types, in my opinion. And it came down from that, as we said at the beginning, Krystianer had a few more Stalkers, and that snowball slowly rolled down the hill till he had twice the amount and was able to just pounce. And that's all off the back of that failed Stargate proxy. Very nice start here from Krystianer. I don't think we'll see SKillous go for that again, because these Protoss players have gotten so good at dealing with proxy Stargate now. I mean, it was the meta now for like a year, that it's difficult to find damage.
Yeah.
But there we go, a great start here for Krystianer, but he still has to get one more map against a player who's top of the group, and I promise you, SKillous isn't going to roll over. No,
definitely not. Proxy Stargate, you make a really good point there, Grant. Proxy Stargate sort of falling out of, I don't know about falling out of favor, but certainly less popular, less ubiquitous than it was about a year ago. And that is because, as you said, players just getting better and better at defending it. And this is one of the amazing things about the StarCraft 2 meta right now, is that even 10 years into the health of our game, or into the life of our game, there are still builds that are really strong, and then they're figured out how to be countered, and something new takes its place. Think about single Liberator Harass. You never see it anymore, right? Just because players are so good at defending against it. Widowmine drops even falling a little out of favor, I guess today and yesterday, a bit of an exception. We've seen a lot of them, but, you know, overall, generally speaking, a little less in favor, just because players are so much better at pulling those drones more quickly, putting them back. It's so good to see these players developing new skill sets year after year, month after month, even week to week, to respond to whatever's strong now. And over time, these new strategies coming into play and falling back out. It truly keeps StarCraft fresh time and time again. Really excited to see what we see here on Game 2. Is it Krystianer's turn, Grant, to be a little bit more aggressive? Go for a proxy or something?
Yeah, I mean, he has a map advantage. I will say Krystianer is a player that I've known to cannon every now and then, and I like it on Romanticide. I'm not certain he'll go for it here, because it is a very important game. And when you have a map advantage, sometimes you feel like, right, I'm going to throw it all at the wall, see if it sticks. But also, he did play cleaner, crisper. His build was better executed in game one, so maybe he's feeling like he can just snowball, be the superior player today, take the series, and take his opportunities to finish either in the top 2 or at least 3rd place in this group. Again, these matches so important for these players. And we're loading in right now to Romanticide, Creighton.
Man, if SKillous loses this 0-2, I'm going to be really sad that we don't have the player cams on right now, because I feel like there could be some nice emotional responses here from both of these players. Let's hop into game 2, Grant, and see what they've got in store for us here. Spawning in that top left-hand side of Romanticide, LE in the blue, reppin' Cascade Gaming in Russia. He is SKillous.
And his opponent at the other side of the map here on the bottom right of Romanticide, he is the red Protoss player representing Blazer and Poland. It's Krystianer.
Nicely done. Good introduction there, Grant. You're such a pro.
Thanks, man.
You're such a pro.
Over you.
So far, gateways in their normal places, no probes out on the map, patrolling around, being frustrating, being pernicious, causing problems. Right now, everything looking pretty standard, but I like the idea that one of these players proxies a Stargate again, Grant. I really do think that'd be a really fun opportunity for one of these players to find a unique edge in the game.
Yeah, I'm not certain we're going to see it, to be honest. I do think on Romanticide it, again, isn't bad, because the 90-degree angle, so to speak, be it horizontally or vertically, that base set's only in the middle of the map, halfway down, or halfway across, this is really weird to explain, are pretty good positions. They're close enough to the mineral line that an Oracle can get in, but it is still very risky. We do have Krystianer currently moving around with a probe. I think he's more looking for a proxy. I don't think either player are going for it at this point. There is a pylon going down for both of them at home. We've got a standard opening game here so far. That doesn't mean that the cheekiness is over and done with, because there's still a lot you can do. Early DTs, prisms, fiascos, even going double Stargate Phoenix or something like that. There's a lot of possibilities here. And this is where they get the opportunity to show what builds they have in the tank.
Yeah, definitely. You distracted me there by saying the word tank, and I was like, wait, what? Am I in the wrong game? Just threw me for just a moment. The good news is we're back. Double Stalkers on both sides here, and it looks like these builds about as mirrored builds could be right now. And really, Grant, that's just going to mean that whichever player is able to execute a little bit more cleanly will take an advantage. I mean, for those of you who don't play or don't watch a lot of high-level PvP, sometimes the difference of one probe or delaying tech by 5 seconds can be a huge deciding factor in these games. We've seen it before, Grant, where one player delays their tech just a moment or loses focus and 2 probes go down, and that's all the advantage that your opponent needs to jump on top and really do a good job. The good news for SKillous is his Stargate is behind, but honestly, if you got Stargate against Stargate, sometimes, Grant, I kind of like being the second player that has his Stargate down.
Yeah, having those extra stalkers is very nice for any shenanigans on the ground here. Nexus, so for SKillous, is going to be a fair bit later. It goes down now. It's about, it's only about 10%, I suppose, 15% of its life, so it's not too bad. I'm interested to see what comes out of these Stargates, because I'd be surprised. Okay, he is going to go for an Oracle just at home. I think the latest Stargate for SKillous may even be indicative that we are going to see some Phoenix play here. He might go for an Oracle himself, but it would be very, very late. It does give time for even the 3rd set of gateway units to come out. Okay, he's going to do it. I find that a little odd. But both players going Oracles here means that we may see some explosions. No Scout going to be successful here. But SKillous moving out with his 4 Stalkers, 4 against 4. This just comes down to the micro. SKillous, you could take this fight, mate. You have the better concave.
He's going to be forced away there. Doesn't want to risk it. Maybe just trying to pull these Stalkers away so his Oracle can get in. I will say it's kind of a nice mind game there from Krystianer, who's going to... Oh my god, is this Oracle going to get caught? Are you kidding me right now? Yeah, is SKillous going to see it? He sees it barely if he was paying attention. It just flickered onto his screen for a second. Should have these Stalkers back home. Already shield battery about to finish up in the natural. I was just going to say that it's nice work by Krystianer there to put those Stalkers very far forward. Sometimes if you see a lot of Stalkers, you might not suspect Stargate play because Stalkers are a little more gas heavy than some some of your other options. So showing 4 Stalkers to the front could be a bit of a mind game to be like, oh, I can't possibly have a Stargate with all these Stalkers down. But as we saw, SKillous able to sniff that out, and that first Oracle not going to do much at all. Second Oracle popping out now for Krystianer, and SKillous trying to find damage as well. But Grant, these players both playing very conservatively here.
Yeah, shield batteries have gone down in the mineral line for both.
Whoa.
Whilst we were looking at the other side, we did see this is nice, getting that battery, very nice. That's sort of building blood. Krystianer got a probe in very, oh my god, now this is really bad. This is like the worst thing that can happen. This shouldn't happen in a top level game. We're going to see workers forced to pull over and over. A few will go down. 9 have gone down and more falling. This is awful. The other side, the Oracle has got in and found some damage to return it, but I mean, there's still the threat of Oracles as well. Where are the Stalkers right now? They're not here. Oh, no. More damage. This
SKillous
is so
chasing
bad
Krystianer
right
down. These Oracles in the main just going to do so much. Remember, shield battery doesn't do anything, Grant, as the 2 Oracles focus fire down those probes one by one, and this is just devastating here for SKillous. Krystianer really flexing his muscles, and SKillous' only hope now is this counter pressure.
Okay. Yeah, there is no battery here. The Stalker's forced to split to deal with the Oracle as well. As long as the battery goes up, though, unfortunately. SKillous has 4 workers, Creighton. He's going to target down nicely here. Krystianer playing some great battles here. He's targeting very well. Meanwhile, SKillous is mixing his target. Probes being pulled unnecessary, I would say, as the battery is about to finish here. The Oracle isn't going to get too much. GG is called. Krystianer with a surprising 2-0.